Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim Kelly along with Justin Godsey, and we are now on to our, we did all the 30 teams, 30 previews. I'll leave a link in the description if you haven't seen those. We preview every MLB team in depth. This video we are going to give you our award predictions, our World Series predictions, our divisional predictions, so every single division we have each team picked, and then also we are going to give you our breakout performers and our most overhyped players coming into the 2013 season. So Justin, let's begin with some of the awards, and we'll start actually with the most overhyped player in your minds coming into 2013.
The overhyped player, I would have to say, is going to be Mike Trout. You know, it's really surprising me. I think he's really overhyped. A lot of people were like, okay, look at last year. You know, my only issue I have with Mike Trout is, you know, is he going to fall in that sophomore slump? And I think we're going to see, you know, a major decline in his play. And, you know, even though he is a great outfielder and everything, I think a lot of people are saying, this guy's going to be phenomenal. This guy is overly, I mean, he just has a huge fan base. And you know what, I just think that he's going to go down into a big decline because, you know, he's not going to be, you know, the flashiest guy now that you have, you know, Josh Hamilton there, you've got Albert Pujols there, and you also got Mark Trumbull. So, you know what, I think on a note when it comes to the most, you know, overhyped guy, I'm going to have to go with Mike Trout, man.
I think Mike Trout's still going to be a tremendous player. And the guy who I'm going to say, I actually think he's probably going to hit about 30 home runs this year. But people are talking about Bryce Harper like this is a second coming of Jesus Christ. And I probably shouldn't say that considering tomorrow's Easter, but I'm going to say it anyway because Bryce Harper is a guy that I've heard people say that he could go 50-50 this year. He hit 20 home runs last year. I know he wasn't up the whole year, but 50-50 at age 19 or 20, whatever he's at, I think that's it's a bit over the top. It's a bit early to be talking about 50-50, and really, you rarely see anyone do that. Does Bryce Harper have tremendous talent, tremendous power? Is he a good left fielder? There's no doubt about it, and I think he's going to put together a productive season. But as far as the MVP race goes, I think people need to slow down on that. I think you leave the MVP race up to more like guys like Matt Kemp, Joey Votto, Andrew McCutchen, and I'll get to my MVP thing in a minute. But Justin, that's the overhyped player. The breakout player, who are you looking at?
You know, it's a really surprising one here, but I'm going to be going down to the Tampa Bay. When you look at Matt Moore, this guy is phenomenal. A guy who I really think he has, you know, the caliber. He does have the arsenal to really come into this season and really just shine on me. This is a guy who's going to be in the back end of the rotation for the Tampa Bay Rays. You know, he is behind Fausto Carmona, yes, Roberto Hernandez, whatever his name is nowadays. But, you know, this guy is overall phenomenal. You know, last year wasn't the greatest, but you know what? Looking at this guy, you know, spring numbers, it really downs you, but you know what, I have a good, you know, set and focused in mind that Matt Moore is a guy who has the ability to go out there and win, you know, 15 to 16 wins, even at the bottom of the rotation. Yeah. This guy is nasty, and he's overall a fantastic pitcher, and he's the future of Major League Baseball when it comes to starting pitching.
Yeah, he's one of the guys long-term that I like a lot as a lefty, and he is someone that came to my mind originally. I also look at his teammate Alex Cobb. That Rays rotation, in my mind, is just absolutely filthy this season. But the guy that I'm looking at as my breakout player is actually Kris Medlen of the Atlanta Braves. This is a guy that came back from surgery last year, middle of the season, and then in the second half went 9-1, was ridiculous, pitched for the Braves into their playoff game that they ultimately did lose, but it really was not his fault. I think Kris Medlen is going to be a top of the line, number 1 or number 2 type pitcher for the Atlanta Braves this year, and he's someone that you want to look out for. Now, looking over to the NL awards, we'll start with Justin. At the NL Cy Young, R.A. Dickey won last year. He's obviously traded over to the American League with the Toronto Blue Jays now. So who are you looking at to be his predecessor as the NL Cy Young Award winner in 2013?
This year, I'm going to be going to my team. No, it's not going to be Tim Lincecum. It's going to be Matt Cain, the guy who really just took over the starting rotation with fashionable passion in this rotation. This guy is phenomenal. A guy who went into last year with a phenomenal 16-5 win-loss record with a 279 ERA with 219 innings pitched. This is a guy who does have that caliber to reach out to the 20-game winner. You know, with the hitting behind him, which features Angel Pagan, Buster Posey, the new contract. Pablo Sandoval. This team is ready to go for 2013 to back up their guy, their man, Matt Cain, and that's my Cy Young winner in 2012 or 2013 when it comes to the Cy Young in the National League.
Matt Cain is definitely a candidate that I looked at. The two guys that I had it narrowed down to were Clayton Kershaw, who I think is the best lefty in the game right now, and he's someone that is still extremely young, and I think he's on a pace to be one of the better left-handed pitchers the MLB has ever seen, really. But the guy that I'm going to go with is Johnny Cueto. I think the Reds are a dangerous team this year, and Johnny Cueto finished top 5 Cy Young last year, and I think we see him back there with the nasty slider he throws. I think he's destined to win 19 or 20 games this year and have an ERA between 240 and 255. I think he has a great season this year for the Cincinnati Reds. Now, looking over to the NL MVP, Justin, who do you have in mind at that spot?
This is going to be really a big surprise to a lot of you guys. It's just really hard when it comes to looking at, hundreds of players in Major League Baseball, and you have to focus into one person, just taking the time that you guys have got to look at stats over the years, expectations into 2013. When it comes to the National League and my MVP, I'm going with Giancarlo Stanton of the Miami Marlins, a team that a lot of fans have been saying, let's boycott this year for the team. Giancarlo Stanton, this guy is just nasty written all over, a guy who can break, scoreboards with his bat, hitting that baseball. This guy is going to take this team by storm. Even though the pitching is not wholly there, a lot of people, you got to understand that you got Giancarlo Stanton, a guy who is an all-star and a phenomenal outfielder. Watch this season. This guy has projections to hit 40 home runs a year with about 120 to 130 RBIs. I think this is the year that he takes the MLB by storm and wins this NL MVP award.
He originally was one of the candidates I did have, but I'm just not sure if he's going to get enough pitches, and he's in a ballpark in Miami that even with his tremendous power, it is not a hitter-friendly park. So I still think he's going to hit between like 39, 40 home runs somewhere in that area. I think Giancarlo Stanton is going to have a tremendous year, but the guy that I'm going with is Joey Votto to win his second MVP this year. I normally don't like to pick two guys on the same team to win Cy Young and MVP, because if that team ends up going down the drain, then pretty much all my predictions do. But I think that the Reds are going to have a great year this year. I think Joey Votto has a very good year this year. I think he can hit over 325, maybe even close to 330, about 35 home runs, and we see him pick up his second MVP in 4 years. Now, the guy that we're looking at as the AL MVP, Justin, a lot of people are picking Mike Trout. Mike Trout and Bryce Harper, the fashionable picks for the MVP this year. But you already mentioned you think Mike Trout's going to have a down year this year, maybe even a sophomore slump. So who do you see as your AL MVP in 2013?
You know what? When you come to the American League team, when it comes to the American League, there are some phenomenal baseball players, such as, Evan Longoria, Jose Bautista, just to name a couple of guys. But you know what? There's one guy who is coming over to the guy who is his teammate of Mike Trout, and that is going to be Josh Hamilton. I got Josh Hamilton winning the American League, MVP this year. This guy, the biggest issue is he going to be healthy for a full season? And when he is healthy, this guy can go out there and just raise the bar. Last year in 148 games, this guy can go out there with the Texas Rangers, coming over from the Texas Rangers. This guy hit 43 home runs, 128 RBIs, it batted 285. So, you're getting home run power. You're getting his bat, and you're getting a 285 average, last year with the Rangers. Coming over to the Los Angeles Angels, I saw this guy in his first at-bat with the Angels, and this guy has a promising bat, and is going to be a promising outfielder for the years to come for the Angels. This year, I have a lot of high expectations for him. I have him having around the same numbers as last year, but I think his RBI total is going to go up from 128 to 135, exactly on what I have written down here. But overall, you're going to see, the sun really shine light on Josh Hamilton in LA this year. Mike Trout, not taking anything away from him. I have a big cause of concern. Is he going to go in that sophomore slump? And I think we're going to see it. But you know what? When it comes to his teammate Josh Hamilton, I think this guy is going to be consistent all year. He's going to supply the home run power. You're going to get a solid, average out of him. I'm going with Josh Hamilton, man.
I think Josh Hamilton, numbers-wise, at the end of the year, you look at his numbers, and he looks like an MVP candidate. The problem with him, you mentioned the health, and he also mentioned the consistency. He'll have weeks where he'll hit 7 or 8 home runs, and then he'll have other weeks where he'll strike out a ridiculous amount of times. He's not a consistent player. We'll see with Josh Hamilton. I think he'll have a very good year, but I'm looking at his teammate, and I'm not talking about Mike Trout, but I'm actually talking about 3-time MVP Albert Pujols. He had a slow start last year, only ended up hitting 285 with 31 home runs, but that's for his standards. In a down year, think about that. He hit 285 with 30 home runs. I think this year, Albert Pujols comes back. We see a return of the old Albert Pujols. I think he hits 36 or 37 home runs, hits like between 308 and 310. He still brings a solid glove over at first base. And in this lineup, there is no way he will not see pitches in a lineup with Mike Trout, Mark Trumbo, Josh Hamilton, Peter Bourjos. It's a very, very good overall lineup that everyone is going to get a chance to see pitches. Howie Kendrick, everyone in this lineup, and I think that we're going to see one of the few guys on that Angels team win the MVP this year. As far as the AL Cy Young goes, who do you see as your AL Cy Young winner?
You know, Tim, you really brought up, Joey Votto and Johnny Cueto, winning, the NL Cy Young and the NL MVP. You know what, I'm going to be sticking in LA, and I'm going with Jared Weaver to win this year's American League Cy Young Award. And Jared Weaver last year, nasty, 20-5 with a 2.81 ERA and 188 innings pitched. It was a big down year innings-wise because, if you guys remember, he went on the disabled list, I think with the elbow injury for a small week in a small portion of the year. Only went on the DL one time last year. But if he was to stay off the disabled list, this guy would have won 21 to 22 games, and he's nasty. This guy has really taken this rotation by storm, and you know what? He's not going to have the backup. The end of rotation is not going to be there for him. If you remember how he had Dan Herron. He had a couple of other guys. I just did not come out of my mind. But they lost Dan Herron, and now you're going to go with C.J. Wilson, Joe Blanton, and you're getting Tommy Hanson over here. So when it comes over to those guys, I think that Jared Weaver is going to be carrying that heavy workload at number one, like he does every single year for the team. And I think this is the year where he goes out there and wins 22 to 23 games this year. A phenomenal pitcher in Major League Baseball with the hitting behind him, which Tim features Josh Hamilton, Albert Pujols, Trumbo, Eric Ivor, who we have not seen the 100% ability of what he can do, Howie Kendrick, Bourjos, Trout. This team is stacked, and you're getting in the rotation. You're getting Jared Weaver. I think this is the year that Jared Weaver does it.
Jared Weaver's a candidate. Felix Hernandez is a candidate. There's certainly other guys. R.A. Dickey coming over to Toronto. I know a lot of people are riding high on him. A lot of people believe Chris Sale could have a good year for the White Sox. But the guy, and David Price in a contract year, some people are even predicting him to go back-to-back. And I don't like to go with obvious picks, but Justin Verlander has been filthy over the last few seasons, and I think we continue to see him at that level. He's going to pitch you about 230 innings, give you 5 or 6 complete games. It's ridiculous. He's going to give you close to 20 wins, and we saw a couple years ago he's the potential to do even more than that, and probably an ERA around 250. So we may see other pitchers with lower ERAs, but we aren't going to see guys that are going to be as valuable to their team. They're not going to give you as many innings, as many complete games, and I think that Justin Verlander ultimately wins his second Cy Young in 3 seasons, and could very well even compete for another MVP. I think that's a little unlikely, but he is going to be someone that gets votes in my mind because of how valuable he is to that Detroit Tigers team. Justin, looking on to the divisions, I'm going to go through mine real quick, and then we'll get to yours. Beginning in the NL, I'm going to go with the Nationals in the NL East. I think that this is a team that from every position in the infield, they have a solid infield. You look at Adam LaRoche, Danny Espinosa, just to name a few guys there in that infield that like Ryan Zimmerman. And then the starting rotation is stacked with Steven Strasburg. They had Danny Herron in. Gio Gonzalez had a tremendous season last year. They have a very good bullpen. So I like the Nationals a lot. I think that some people are overhyping them a little bit. I think we're looking too much into Bryce Harper, like I said. But I think they're going to be a very good team. Another team that's under the radar for me is the Cincinnati Reds, who I have winning the NL Central. I think Matt Latos in his second year will be a solid number 2. I already said I have Johnny Cueto winning the Cy Young. And then they add Shin-Soo Choo into this lineup. I like that move quite a bit. In the NL West, the Dodgers for me This was probably the hardest division to pick, but I do like what the Dodgers did in the offseason, adding in Zach Greinke. Even though they overpaid him, I don't think it's going to hurt their team much because of how much money they have. Clayton Kershaw is one of the best, if not the best pitcher in the entire National League, or maybe even the MLB at this point. So I have the Dodgers winning the West. The two wild cards for me go to the Giants winning the first one and the Braves winning the second one. I do have the Braves winning the one-game playoff and getting into the playoffs. In the AL, I have the Blue Jays. I like all the moves they make, and I think that they just edge out the Tampa Bay Rays in the AL East. The Tigers in the Central get Victor Martinez back, and I think that they add that on to Miguel Cabrera. I think Justin Verlander's a big year. Prince Fielder can still do better than what he did last year power-wise, so I think they win the Central. The Angels, for me, win the West. With all the moves that they've made, I just think their offense is too good not to go to the playoffs. And then the two wild cards, I have the Rays winning the first one, and the Oakland Athletics. I actually do have returning to the playoffs behind a solid season from Gerard Parker in the starting rotation. I think the Rays win the one-game playoff, and they end up going to the playoffs. So, Justin, give me all your divisions, and then we'll give the World Series prediction.
You know, when you look at the National League, like you saw, I'm almost over in the National League like you did, and when you look at the National League, the National League East, it's really, tied up between the Atlanta Braves and the Washington Nationals. I'm going with the Atlanta Braves to take over in the first place. I think it's really going to come down to the final week between them and the Washington Nationals, just going head-to-head. I actually think they're actually facing off against different opponents, but you know what? Who's going to want it more? I think it's going to be the Atlanta Braves taking the East, the Nationals, in second place. I think they're going to end up taking the wild card in my book. In the National League Central, another team, a team that's really risen, and that's the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think this is a team that can surpass the St. Louis Cardinals and get into that number 2. In first place, I got the Cincinnati Reds. And looking at the National League West, you know what? It's overall a phenomenal division, and I'm really thinking that the San Francisco Giants can go back and win it again. I think it's really going to come down to, there's so many, teams in this division, and just battling out against each other. The NL East, like I said, you got the Braves and the Nationals. Then you look over to the NL West. You got the Dodgers and you got the San Francisco Giants. But you know what? I have the Giants in first place this year only by a game or two. It's really going to come down to the wire between the two. And I think overall the Giants, I'm not saying they're going to have the better team. I think the Dodgers have a better lineup than what the Giants have. But the Giants have Buster Posey leading the charge behind them. You got Sandoval, Angel Pagan, and you got like I said, the new contract coming Posey's way. I think that the Giants are able to capitalize on a couple of victories at the end of the year. My two wild cards, like I said, you know what? I'm saying the Nationals get one, and I'm saying the Cincinnati Reds take one as well.
So, rounding all this out, Justin, I have a World Series that might not be the highest rated World Series ever, but I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Reds over the Tampa Bay Rays. I think this is a year for Johnny Cueto and Joey Votto to get that ring. The bullpen is really nicely set up now with Jonathan Broxton setting up Aroldis Chapman. I think the addition of Shin-Soo Choo into this lineup and the continued development of Todd Frazier and a big year from Matt Latos, that is enough for them to beat the Tampa Bay Rays in the World Series. So I think the Rays are going to have a very good year, and their pitching is going to carry them through the playoffs. But I think in the end, the Cincinnati Reds will get their first world title in quite a long time this year.
Well, let me correct what I said. I said that the Reds will get a wild card. Let me correct that. I have the Reds winning, the NL Central, and I have the Dodgers taking a wild card. But when it comes down to the World Series-wise, you know what? I actually think that my Giants are not going to go back to the World Series this year. I think this is the team that has caliber to go into the playoffs again, but, I don't have them returning to the series. And, this World Series, it's going to be really, really fun, really, really interesting. You're going to see Battle of Los Angeles. Yes, the seedy name for Rage Against the Machines. You're going to see the Battle of L.A. You're going to see the Dodgers taking on the Los Angeles Angels, two teams that really went out this offseason getting, great accusations. You got the Dodgers, got Zach Greinke, the Angels just, a team that has just been, 2-3 over the past couple of years in that American League West behind the Texas Rangers. This is the year that they go out there with Josh Hamilton, with Albert Pujols, with Jerry Weaver, my AL Cy Young winner, and they take it and they defeat the Los Angeles Dodgers in the World Series. I have the Angels taking it, and they're going to end up winning the World Series this year. Big ups to the LA Angels if that is going to happen.
Alright, so guys, what do you see happening in the 2013 MLB season? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and let us know what you believe about our thoughts. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be here for the entire MLB season, so if you haven't already, please subscribe. We'll catch you guys next time.